Ayana Peterson, the Thrifting Diva, and tonight we're doing another high protein meal that's going to be super quick. I think maybe 30 minutes tonight because I am hungry and I have some things that I need to do, like relax. It's been a stressful day, and so I want to get dinner on the table very quickly. However, the most important thing about my dinners is that it got to be high protein. I have been working on a weight loss journey and I am about 4 pounds away from meeting my weight loss goal. And for me, that means continuing to eat correctly. I told someone the other day that eating healthy versus eating to lose weight is a little bit of differences. Now, it mostly overlaps, okay? Now, if you're eating to lose weight, you're automatically, it's going to be a more healthy eating. But just because you're eating healthy doesn't mean that you're going to lose weight. And so, one of the things that I've been focused on is really trying to perfect. Well, not really perfect, because perfection is not, perfection is not what we're learning. Perfection is not what we're aiming for. But what I've been doing is being more intentional and intentional when it comes to how much protein and my calories, trying to at least hit a calorie deficit. And so, a calorie deficit, for those who might be new to this, is just basically eating, less calories than what we burn. Okay. Um, Okay, so that is what I'm doing right now. So tonight we're going to be cooking a fish dinner, which is going to get us to about 25 to 30 grams of protein. And this is Swai. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Is it either Swai or Swai? But it's a fish that I picked up at my local Asian market today. And so that's what we're going to cook tonight. And then I'm going to have that with some spinach and trying to make a little dish, a tomato medley for the fish. So this should be super quick, very simple to make. It's a white fish. So if you haven't had this before, let me know in the comments. So I'm going to turn on the oven because we're going to be baking it. And I'm also wanting to make my tomatoes in the oven first. And so what I'm going to do is some roasted tomatoes with the fish. It's definitely going to make that really nice. So let's turn on our oven and we're going to set the oven at about 375 degrees to preheat because that is what I think we're going to do for the tomatoes. And then all you need is some cherry tomatoes, okay? I'm going to put the cherry tomatoes and then I'm going to season my fish. This, as I said, is going to be a very, very simple and super quick meal because, as I mentioned, I'm hungry. I'm not in the good mood today, and I just want to get something to eat very quickly and go. Shay's babe, hi, welcome. All right, I think I have some more tomatoes in the fridge, so let me grab that, and let me make sure that's not me. Okay, let me just make sure I have the rest of the tomatoes. So this is just some some sweet cherry tomatoes. I might have some additional ones in the fridge. So I'm gonna grab this. I normally cook my meals. Literally, there's no prep. I wish I could prep a little more, but that's what you're seeing. Basically, what happens is I come in, wash my hands, and we just start going to town with getting this stuff together. So I'm gonna grab that, and I'm also gonna grab the spinach because that's what we're gonna make with it on the side. Remember, we're doing high protein and low calories, so this meal is gonna be a quick, simple one. All right, tons of tomatoes. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a tray. Just gonna get a baking tray. Okay, just gonna get a baking tray, and what we're gonna do here. Wow, Stan, that is really came in hard on that one. Hey, Damien, how are you? Welcome. I'm not going to cut these up, so we're going to just put them on the tray and go in here like that. Thank you so much, Damien, for that. Folks are coming in hot, sizzling hot. So just gonna pour these out like that. And if you've never had roasted sweet cherry tomatoes, you're definitely missing out. Such a good meal. Adds so much flavor. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to go some salt and pepper. And that's all we're going to need to jazz this up. Okay. Remember, we're doing high protein, low calorie because that has been what's working. As I said, I have lost today. Actually, my journey started. My journey for weight loss started exactly 3 months ago, where July 8th, where I said, you know what? I need to get in shape. I need to lose some weight and I need to feel stronger. And I didn't want to just be in the gym, because that's what they always tell you. Go to the gym, go to the gym. But I don't think going to the gym by itself is going to help. And so that's where I started kind of really focusing in on what I'm eating and the meals and things that needs to happen. And that's where I discovered the importance of high protein meals and how protein plays a major part in weight loss and building muscles. Okay. And unfortunately, I just never knew any of this stuff before. It was just something that, just from a lot of research and listening to podcasts and reading, I realized like, oh, we've been doing this the wrong way. In the military, I'm in the military, and one of the big things is PT, physical training, is huge, but you cannot out PT a bad diet. And while I didn't have a horrible diet, if I had stick with the same diet where I thought I ate relatively healthy, I would not have lost as much weight so quickly because I was eating healthy, but I'm not eating healthy enough. Or I'm not eating the right way to lose weight, which is a major difference. So I am saying this to everyone. If you are looking to lose weight and you want to ensure that the weight stays off and that you are going to be able to maintain it, then you really have to be focused on not just eating healthy. It's really about understanding the calories that you're taking in and the protein. Now, so this is the tomatoes, and all we're going to do is pop these in the oven once the oven has preheated. Right now they're preheating at 375, and so we're just going to set that aside for a second. Let's see who's joining me today. Melody, hello. Damien, no problem. I'm doing some paperwork at the moment, but I'll be monitoring the chat. Thank you so much. And Lori Delisa said, hi, Ayana. Thank you so much. Okay, so we have today, we're doing high protein fish for dinner. And so what I'm going to do is make the fish, and then I want to make like a tomato medley with it. And so it's not a lot of things that you're going to need for this meal. Okay. And I think you can use any fish with this, but I'm going to go with a white fish. So I'm going to get this out of the containers, and then we're going to season this. Remember, seasoning the food is what's going to make us want to eat the food. Hanson, thank you from Minnesota. Wow. Welcome, welcome. Okay. I'm going to open these up. I'm just looking for a dish that I'm going to bake it in. And as I mentioned, nothing is prepared in advance. I'm not like a regular or professional chef in any way. So this is just my kitchen and how I'm cooking dinner. What I'm going to also do is I'm going to have some for dinner, and then I'm going to have some for lunch. I take my lunch to work because if I'm going to be intentional about getting all the proteins that I need, I absolutely need to be intentional about each meal. And the easiest way for me to do that is to bring my dinner with me, because that's the only way for me to, the dinner becomes lunch the next day. Okay, so I'm going to rinse these off really quickly, and then we're going to put them on a baking tray as well so that they can bake. And in the meanwhile, while those things are baking, we're going to make the spinach, and I might make some quinoa just because, it's a volume add. I consider those things, it fills you up without you having to to eat a lot of calories on it. So I do not know how they pronounce this fish. I think it's Swai, or it could be Swai. I'm not sure, but I do like it. I cook it often. And so this is the one I got from the market. And so I'm going to rinse it off. And so you see how a nice big piece for each person, cooking for 4, but I think my kids are not having fish tonight. So let's see what they have. And what I always like to do is just pat dry. Once I rinse, I will pat dry the meat, the fish, whatever protein you're using, so that we can start on it's not sogging up the fish with water. Sogging, is that a word? Is that a word? How's everyone's day been? As I mentioned, today was a rough day for me. I feel like this whole week has been rough. The government shutdown is rough. Life seems to be a little rougher. So I'm just like ready to head to bed, if you know what I mean. So here we go. If it is a high protein and flavorful, then guarantee you're going to love it because of its muscle building properties. Also helps to keep you full longer periods of time. Exactly. Thanks, Damien, for the additional input. I'm glad that other people see what I see as well, because I've been trying to sing it from the rooftop. Hey, if you're trying to lose weight, then you should be really focused on the protein that you have, and then counting, being intentional about your calories. So just getting as much of the excess water up. And now we're going to be able to go in and pick this up. Okay. And so I'm going to season this in here a little bit. Nothing too much, because what I'm going to do is have it, once the fish is done, the tomato medley that I'm going to make is going to be what tops off on the fish. So I don't have to do too much with this. I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil. Get that all in there. And I try to show you guys different meals that, 1, are very tasty, but 2, are very quick and easy. Because I understand, as I said, I don't want to come home and have to do a 17-course meal that's going to take 4 hours. So if I wasn't on live right now, this probably would take me no more. The amount of time it takes for the oven to heat up and stuff like that. And so right now we are just kind of waiting for it to heat up, and then we'll pop this in there. All I've done is added some salt. I'm not even going to flip it because, as I said, I'm going to have something else that's topping off. And so I'm just going to do on the top. This is salt and pepper. And if I wasn't making any type of sauce to go with this, your girl would be doing a lot more to do some flavoring. But we have some stuff that's going to come in and flavor it. The one thing I am going to add is this Flavor Mate seasoning. It's a lemon blend. And I really like this when I make fish. And I like it a lot because it doesn't have any salt added, okay? Because you saw that I added sea salt already, so you don't want to, we want to make sure that we're keeping the salt level down. But this adds a little bit of like dried pepper. Peppers in here too, but it also has that lemon flavor. And I like it, as I said, because it's salt-free. So this is what it looks like. And then we're just going to put this on the side. And we are pretty much close to finish with dinner. It just needs to get into the oven. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do with my tomatoes and stuff once that is in there. So I'm going to put these in there now as we have get the tomatoes going. And then I'm going to put my fish in here. This is only going to take a few minutes. So remember, we're just going to keep an eye on it because it's not going to take that long. In the meanwhile, I'm going to make my sides because we're going to have some fish, and I want to show you how you can also make some things that's healthy and quick to make with your fish. So I'm going to clean down the counter. We are going to start. I don't even know what I'm making, how I'm making it yet. Let me know if you're one of those people that while you're driving home, you're just like, oh my God, what are we cooking for dinner? I do have a lot of baby spinach that I need to make before it goes bad. So I think we're going to make some sauteed spinach. I want to get some garlic going with that because there's nothing better than some sauteed garlic spinach. So we're going to be cutting up a lot of we're going to cut up a lot of garlic. So we're going to get some of that going. Swai is Vietnamese catfish that comes from the farms of the Mekong Delta. Very high in protein, vitamin B, and selenium. Damien, can you tell me how much, when you say very high, and can you tell the people, I would say, how much protein are we talking about here? Because that's the question, right? Like we want to make sure we're so intentional with our meals that we can hit those goals. And if you're wondering what my goals are for my protein goals are between 35 and 40 grams of protein each meal. And in the beginning, that seemed ridiculously high. And I was like, oh my God, how am I going to do that? But as you start doing this, it becomes easier to understand, and guesstimate a lot of it. So I'm going to need to get some minced garlic going because I'm going to make some garlic spinach. And I absolutely love garlic. Like I would put garlic in absolutely everything. The part I hate is this part, getting the shells off and the skin. And then obviously cutting it up in, mincing it up. Don't like this part. I do have little things that I can use to make it faster, but sometimes you're just like, let me just do it the old-fashioned way. And so to peel garlic, I do the smash and peel. To me, that's the easy way. I'm sure some people have probably even easier way to do this, but this works for me. And so that's what we're doing. Okay, so if you're just joining me, I am making a high protein meal for dinner, which I will also use for lunch the next day at work. And I have been focused on high protein because that is what is helping me lose weight so much quicker than anything else. So I started in July at 161 pounds on July 8th to be exact, because that was the day when I was like, I need to do something about this. And this morning, I weighed myself and I am at 150 today. And I would like to be, ideally, it's 145 pounds is where I want to go. So I'm about 5 pounds away. Do I weigh myself every day? No, I don't stress the weight as much. But, I want to make sure that I'm heading in the right direction. And I am. And if you ask me, like, well, what has worked and what hasn't? What has worked has been what I'm eating. And that does not mean what I'm eating has been boring or that I've given up everything in life. The only thing I would say I really truly give up is alcohol. Like I have limited alcohol use now to maybe a cocktail on Fridays when I do my happy hour. But after that, everything else is still fair game. I'm just more intentional about it. The one other thing that has seriously worked is that I have upped my protein numbers. So I am intentional about what I'm eating for protein and how much protein, and sneaking in as much protein as I can to try to get to 35 to 45 grams of protein in each meal. Um, and I try to only eat 3 meals a day. And it is easy to do that with the protein, because when you have a high protein meal, you just don't feel hungry like you would normally. So there's no really need to snack. I don't even take snacks to work anymore. There's no cravings in the middle of the day or in the evenings. So I'm able to just hit those 3 meals and be completely satisfied. I've also not given up flavor on any of my meals, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, you know, well, are you just eating the same thing all every day? Like, no, sir, no, ma'am. I'm still not repeating any meals. I'm really, just basically eating with intention, but eating very flavorful meals. And that's where this show comes in the evening, just showing you that you can do this. It's not something that I'm doing only on the weekends. I'm not prepping any large meals on the weekends. I'm doing all of this after work, after a long day of work, and I get home around 5:30, and dinner is ready within an hour to hour and a half, depending if I started right away. So tonight we're doing fish. And this is a lot of mods took care of that quick. Thanks, Lori. Yes, they are on top of it. They are on top of it. A lot of garlic, but as I said, I really love garlic. So I made a lot because I'm going to put some for the salad, and then for the spinach, and then we're going to use the rest for my tomato medley that I'm going to put on top of the fish that we're going to make with some capers and lemon. And hopefully, if I have some time and stuff like that can just come back. So I'm going to it'll be half and half kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is start working on the spinach. And this is such an easy one. Like, everyone can do this. I mean, spinach, really good source. I think it's vitamin. Which vitamin is for spinach? Popeye the Sailor Man. Okay, big pot, because we're going to be doing the full thing of spinach here. But we're going to make sure that it's nice and tasty, and that it's not just tasting like some boiled spinach, right? So we're going to saute our spinach. I'm going to heat my pot at about medium heat for now, so I don't get it too hot, because I want that oil and the garlic to get in there and nice and infused. So that's what we're doing in here right now. I'm going to also be checking in on my fish and my tomatoes. And tomatoes just I want them to burst in the oven. So that's why I'm going to keep them in for a little longer, because I want when it bursts, so it's nice and juicy. And the fish is almost done. I'm going to just keep that out there for a little bit. Once again, this is a meal that is so simple, comes together so quickly. If I wasn't talking, I probably would be finished, but the oven needs, it still needs time to do what it needs to do. We don't play, although I'm missing my fellow mod, Yo Boy. Normally, Yo Boy is on here before me. He has been, and it's probably because I haven't been as consistent. I'm going to probably be going on every other night. And so he normally joins us at the end lately. But we'll see when he comes on, Damien. Okay, so going to add some olive oil. I'm going to use avocado oil tonight. And so we're going to add a little bit of that in here. Make sure you can see what's happening. And then we're going to add our garlic. Okay. So remember, half of the garlic we're going to use. This is completely up to taste preference, but it's garlic. Is a garlic spinach is what we're doing tonight. I don't want it to burn, so make sure you watch your heat, because nothing worse than like burnt garlic. It's a very bitter, it's super bitter. Keep it on medium. Get it oil to have that flavor almost in here. And then we're going to start adding our spinach. So this one is the spinach I can use straight out. It's washed already, so it's like literally ready for you to go in. I'm gonna get a pair of tongs, so I can move this around a little better. And you could smell that garlic in here already, making it so easy and simple. You just want to try to get a little bit of the garlic coated on most of the pieces. And we're going to do the full thing because, you know, as garlic wilts, it reduces in volume. And so while it may look like a lot, it really isn't that much. Okay. Welcome, Vanessa. Thanks for joining in. We are cooking dinner, but make it high protein, make it healthy, and make it tasty. Can we have all of those in the same? Absolutely. And make it quick. That's what I would say. Make it quick. All right, so I'm going to raise my heat a little bit. I'm going to leave this for a second. I'm going to check on the fish because I think that should be done already. And then my tomatoes as well, because we're going to make something to go along with the fish. We are doing the Swai or Swai, however it's pronounced, which is a Vietnamese catfish I learned today. So I got it at the Asian market today. And so my tomatoes are done. The fish seems done. I'm going to show you what that looks like over here. So you can see, oh, smells so good. If you wanted to cook it just by itself like this, you would be a-okay in doing that. But because we're bougie on this side of town, your girl's gonna do some additional stuff. So what I'm gonna do, I'm actually just gonna put this fish on the side for now. And I'm gonna take out the tomatoes that started to burst. Actually, we're gonna leave those in for just a little more time. And then we're gonna work on the tomatoes. All right, how's this going? Oops. Okay. It's definitely going to be garlicky. We did a lot of garlic in this one, but we're going to add a little few finishing touches. And so we're going to add a little bit of salt. And so I use my sea salt here, just a little bit, not too much. And then we're going to add some black pepper. and then a squeeze of lemon juice. Those are the vitamins in spinach. Okay, there we go. K, C, A, B9, and E. 5 to 6 grams in 1 cup. I think we're going to be over 30 grams of protein for this meal. And Lori, thank you so much for that breakdown. All right, I'm just going to do a squeeze of lemon juice. Just, excuse me. Okay, I'm going to turn this off. And just a little bit of, oh, the smell. And there we go. And this is done. Too easy. Too easy. Now, what I'm going to do is put this in a bowl because I'm going to reuse the same pot. And I'm actually going to use all the same juices in here. I'm not even going to rinse this because it's okay. I'm going to heat this back up now for my tomato medley. One of the things I'm going to add to this is going to be capers. And I love capers. So I really do hope I actually have capers. So I'm going to turn this heat back on, add high, and then I'm going to get some capers from the pantry if I do have. I think I have. I thought I had. And maybe I don't have. Oh, no, I do have. Yes. One of the things I always have in my pantry is capers. Love these, and I love olives. Okay. So we're gonna incorporate this in here. Quick fact, Swai can grow up to 4 feet in length and weigh 100 pounds in the wild, but for consumption, overconsumption, they're sold in a smaller size and weight. That spinach looks fantastic. Thank you. It actually really, it smells amazing. Okay. So what we're doing now, same pot. I'm going to go in and get some olive oil this time. Oop, that might have been a little too much. Might have been a little too much. It's all good. We're going to reheat the same pot. It's okay if you have a little bit of your spinach there. No big deal. And we're going to remember I had cut up a lot of garlic. So I'm going to add the next half of that garlic in here now and get that sauteing going. I'm going to lower the heat because we do not want the garlic. We don't want the garlic to burn. Okay, as that is starting to work its way into, we're going to pull out the tomatoes, and they look beautiful. Okay, look at these guys. They are ready to go, and so I'm going to put them right in here. They look, Sometimes what I do is with the tomatoes like this, after I've made this like this, is something if you had bread and you wanted to use your bread to sop up, tomatoes, and ooh, it's so good. So we're going to do like that. And of course, all of this nice juice over here, we're going to pour that in here. So all the tomato juices in there. Okay. I'm going to raise my heat a little bit. And so this is just like simmering down right now. And then I'm going to open this. I don't want the water from the capers. And I'm actually not going to use the whole thing. So I'm going to just, I'm going to take out a little bit in a strainer. And so if you've ever had capers and tomatoes, that mix of the both acid in there and the saltiness of the brine, and it just works. I don't know why, but it works. It just works. Okay. If I had any olives, I would add it, but I don't have any tonight, so it's all good. Just gonna add a little more capers. The other thing that I really love with fish is capers. I just think that they go together. And then I'm gonna add a little bit, if I have some, I have dried thyme, so I'm gonna add a little bit of that in here. I don't have any fresh thyme, unfortunately, but that's okay. Now, this is where you go in and you taste your food. Okay? You taste it, but like, oh, how does this taste? Do I need to add anything additional to it? Oh my God. Nothing. The sweetness of the tomatoes, nothing at all. But only thing I may add, and I don't think I have any more, but I need a little bit of pepper. Let's get some red pepper flakes in here. I'm gonna lower this a little bit. Just a little bit of heat, because the fish is gonna not have any heat in it, obviously. And then of course we want to top that off. Get some lemon juice in here. I'm gonna add a little more lemon juice. There we go. And we're done. And so this is gonna go on top of our fish. And let's see how that looks. We're gonna get the fish out. Mary, why am I washing my hands right now, Mary? Tell me. Break it down for me at this point. Damien, my thoughts exactly. So that was my very first thought when she was prepping them for the oven. Bit of saltiness and some zest in that combination. Perfect. I'm from Damien. I did not know. Why did I not know you were from Trinidad? I didn't. I swear I did not. Do you know I'm from Trinidad too? But I did not know you were from Trinidad, Damien, which is kind of crazy. Okay, so the last part about this is getting our fish together now. Okay, so we have the fishes here. Did not make it in a lot of oil or anything because I knew I was going to be doing this with it. And so this is going to give it, if your fish even felt like it was dry in any way, this little sauce on top is going to be what we need to do to add to it. Oh, I did not. That's awesome. Isn't that where Ariane is from? Laura, I did not realize that he was from there. It's so, what a small world. Okay. Um, and we're just gonna, if I had some bread on the side, this would be perfect. Like to just have like dipping sauce. And there we go. Okay. And so just going to do a little bit of, because you can't have fish without that little lemon. Okay. And so this is dinner. And so we're just going to plate this now because, of course, we're ready to eat. Of course. So it took me, what, 41 minutes, right? And that's with me kind of talking my way around doing this. If I wasn't, we'll be right in there. Trini to the bone. It's exactly how they say it. All right. I'm going to plate it so that, because you guys know I am bougie, and that's how we do. So you could just see what this is about. I want to take like a plating class or something, because food presentation is just such a big thing for me. Okay. And then we're going to have, okay, here we go. Let me get this down here so you can see. A very simple meal, but this is going to make me feel very full. I'm not going to have to feel like, what else is on the plate? It's the Swai fish with our tomato and capers, topped with tomato and capers with a little bit of lemon, and then a garlic lemon spinach on the side. Would be using fresh salmon or even a shark steak. I don't know about I was thinking of salmon when I picked up dinner, but with this tomato, I felt like, because the fish is such a very light, flaky fish, I like the tomato I felt like it would go better with it than salmon. But girl, try it. Try it. I'm gonna try it right now. Let's see how this goes down. Let me get a fork. Let me get a fork and let's see. Bon appetit, as they said. The fish is nice and flaky. Yep. And cooked. And this is why I like this type of fish too. I mean, fish in general is just going to cook very quickly. So, yeah, this is, okay. This is really, really good. A quick meal, but when you're finished, one, you're not going to feel stuffed, but you're going to feel full. Excellent. And if you're one of those people, I love a lot of lemon, but the family, whenever I cook with lemon, they're like, Mom, go easy on the lemon. So I like my slices on the side so I can add, and I don't have to worry with everyone saying, oh, it's too lemony. Like, how could it be too lemony? Yeah, this is perfect. If you're looking for a quick meal, please give this a try. Healthy, Definitely meant to help you with weight loss. But if that's not your thing, healthy, quick, flavorful, and perfect. Love it. I probably could finish this whole thing just sitting in front of you right here because on the sweetness of the cherry tomatoes, but the capers, perfect. Okay. Well, another meal done, and we're about to go eat. Yes, definitely a winner. Easy one to make. I promise you. As you see how quick I made this, anyone could do this, okay? And it's a good one for protein. I think I'm going to be over 30 grams of protein here, which is perfect for me. I'm going to eat that, not have to worry about any snacking tonight. I'll pack away something for tomorrow, and I'll be good to go. All right, until the next time, I'll see you soon. And let me know in the comments, or if you made this dish, tag me on Instagram, Thrifting Divas, if you make this dish, or if you tried it and it didn't come out okay. All right, talk to you soon. Bye. 38 grams. I'll take